He hopped up with a scowl and snagged his shirt off the ground as he stalked out of the room. She blew out a sigh. Somehow he'd taken her offer for him to stay home as an insult. She slipped out of the lingerie and got dressed in her usual bar uniform of jeans and a t-shirt. So much for being spontaneous. She picked up an envelope off the dresser and left the room. Jason's dad's mail had inadvertently been mixed in with hers, and she tossed it on the hall table on her way to the front door. William Brooks had moved in with them over the summer, after he and Jason's mom argued their way through a messy divorce. The situation was not ideal, but Jason felt bad. His dad had nowhere else to go, so they'd been making the best of it. On the plus side, William had been working on their kitchen remodeling project. In the minus column, he spent a lot of time moping around the house. Janet struggled to feel empathy for the man. After all, you can't cheat on a woman and then be mad when she leaves you. "Ready?" she called to Jason. "Let's go." He swept past her, and she frowned. Every time she tried to do something nice, Jason took it as dismissive. William Brooks had brought his bad mojo from Memphis, and Janet couldn't wait for him to leave. "Bye, William. We'll be home later." "Everything okay, Janet?" He stuck his head through the open kitchen door. Drywall dust covered his hair. "I forgot to tell you, I called an arborist to come to the spot. Those ash trees need to come down. They're being devoured by emerald ash borers." "Fine, William. Thanks so much." She turned and walked out of the house, a stiff smile plastered on her face. He needed to get his own home and business to worry over and leave hers alone. Janet stood frozen in the parking lot. The bar's Birador, a massive 7-foot-tall, bottle-shaped refrigerator, stood guard by the door. The unusual appliance had come with the bar when Janet and Jason had bought it years ago, but it had been taken during a murder investigation several months earlier. Why was it back? She shuddered slightly, remembering the body she'd found staring lifelessly out the Birador's window all those weeks ago. A quick look behind her confirmed that Jason was still on the phone call that had just come in when he parked. She waved when he looked up, then turned and strode into the spot. It took a moment for her eyes to adjust to the low lighting inside. Her bar looked like it had been ransacked. Someone had cleared a path from the door to the center of the room, forcing tables and chairs aside in an uneven mess. Janet made her way behind the bar to Cindy Lou. Her assistant manager and most faithful bartender was channeling Rosie the Riveter that day. Her bleached blonde hair was tied back in a red bandana, and a short denim jumper with a plunging neckline replaced the blue jumpsuit from the poster. "What's going on?" Cindy Lou stared pointedly across the bar but didn't speak, only continued to prep a pile of lemons for the night ahead, her knife making click-clack-clack sounds against the cutting board. "I should charge you extra for the door-to-door delivery, but I won't." The deep voice came from Janet's left. Detective Patrick Odell grinned from a bar stool, his green eyes sparkling mischievously. A sports coat hung off the back of his chair, and his white shirt sleeves were rolled up to the elbow. One of her regulars, Nell, an older woman with silvery gray hair, waved, but Janet could only stare at the cop, her mouth open. His resulting chuckle shook her tongue loose. "You're giving it back? I mean, shouldn't it go to—" "I just assumed it would be disposed of, or something. Janet eyed the Birador suspiciously. She'd hoped, she'd never see it again. "Would have cost the city too much to bring it to the dump with the fees and everything," Odell said. "Where do you want my guys to put it?" Janet grimaced. "Has it been cleaned or anything?" "Nope." "Son of a biscuit," Cindy Lou interrupted with a sharp elbow in Janet's side. "It can be just as satisfying if you say it right," she added out of the side of her mouth. Janet snorted.